Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders of KW Bonsai. Today we're looking at my small leaf Schefflera Bonsai. It may have small leaves, but it's a big tree right now, or a group of trees. So, in the last video, which was just before December, the plant started dropping aerial roots from the branches and trunks. And so we've been letting it grow in order to encourage that, to generate aerial roots, and it's doing it really well. So this is the side of the tree that's been facing the window, and I've left it in the one position. I don't rotate it around on purpose, and that's so I can build this wall of foliage that gets all the sunlight, and then behind we get all the aerial roots dropping down in the darker parts of the the interior of the trees. So what I'll do, I'll turn it around so we can have a look at the other side. This side is just all foliage. The other side is more trunks and roots. So let's turn it around. I've turned the tree around, so this is the actual front of the tree, or the planting. So you can see the foliage wall is kind of behind, and from this view you can see more of the trunks and the roots and everything. So let's go in for a close-up now and see what's going on. Here's a close-up of what's going on with all our roots and trunks. So on this side of the tree we have quite a few roots that have dropped. These ones have hit the ground already and are turning thick and woody. This one's turning woody. We have a lot that are very close to the ground, like this one. Got another 1/4 inch to go. This one's got a ways to go. So do these two. And there's a lot up in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Too many to count. Roots that are coming down. On the far side here, on the left side, we've got a couple of roots that have hit the ground just recently. This one also. And we have a few on the way. Not as many on this side, but there's still quite a few developing. There's some roots that have dropped from way up top and have just about hit the ground, and we're going to have to do some correction on those. So this is the root I'm the most concerned about. It comes from way back in the plant. It comes across some of the other branches and starts to drop down towards the ground. So I think we've got to kind of unthread it from some of these other branches it's crossing in order to get it to drop down in a better place, in more of a straight line. Right now it really has an arc to it. So let's see if we can fix that. Okay, here goes. I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see, and we have to be very delicate with these roots. They're very fragile at the moment, but I just don't want them like draping over other branches, and if we don't correct it now, we never will be able to correct it. This is the only time it'll be this flexible. Wow, it's going to be hard to do. I'm not sure I can unthread it. I'm going to try. I'm going to have to bend some of this foliage out of the way. Maybe bring the root up first. I guess if I break it off, I break it off. I just have to try here. I have to get it around this branch. That was just a leaf breaking. I've got it around the branch, and it's still hanging from another branch, but that's okay. I think we can deal with that one all right. It's now to get it to drop down. I think that would be okay. I'm wondering if we even want to drop it down between these trunks over here. No, I think we'll keep it dropping down in the front. See how that goes. I just don't want a root blocking the main tree here in the middle. So there's our root dropping down here. And it looks really good right now. It looks very tropical and jungle-like. But we have to imagine that root you know, 10 years from now? How thick's it going to be? Is it going to look good then? So I don't know. I guess, you know, if worst came to worst, we could cut it away. I'm sure over the next, 10 years or so, there's going to be lots more aerial roots growing. So if we find ones that we don't like, that we want to get rid of, we can always do that at a later point. Got another root dropping down here. Lots of roots. If we look underneath the planting, on the bottom of the pot, you can see there's a lot of aerial roots that have dropped down. All under here. So it's definitely, getting root bound, this tree in the pot. In order to encourage the aerial roots, I mist the underside of this tree probably at least twice a day, especially when the sun's out and there's lots of humidity in the plant room. I like to keep the ends of the roots with a little teardrop of water on them if I can. Keeps them growing really nicely, especially in the winter. So that's kind of the update on the tree. I think because the aerial roots have grown so much, we may be able to prune the top of the tree down and get the canopy back under control this summer. It's always, how many of these aerial roots do I want on this tree? Do I want like hundreds of them? Probably not. The more aerial roots you have, it kind of starts taking away from the main focus of the center of the planting. So, as with anything in bonsai, more is not necessarily better. Bigger trunks doesn't mean your tree's better. It's, the quality. So, I think we probably have enough aerial roots at the moment. They kind of, they call them prop roots. They support the branches of the tree, and the tree grows outwards even more. So it just keeps spreading wider and wider. I may change the pot that this is in. This is just our plastic nursery seed tray in a wooden frame. I do have a nice pot I can put it in that would fit it really well. So we may do that this summer, is repot it and get it in a nice bonsai pot. The other thing I'm going to do today is it has some scale insects on it. And I'll just show you those. Here's the underside of one of the worst leaves. It's got, you can see all the little scale insects on the leaves. Most leaves don't have them, but the odd one does. So if I get to it now, I can stop them spreading to the rest of the tree and keep them under control. So it's important, if you do notice scale insects like this, get to them as fast as you can. Get the problem solved before it spreads to the rest of the tree and turns a small job into a really big one. I'm going to be spending the next hour or so checking out the scale insects with brushing them off with soap and water and a toothbrush. I'll spray the tree gently with soap and water. Get this scale insects under control. And once we get the tree outside in spring, I think we'll have enough aerial roots that have touched the ground that we can start pruning the canopy of the tree back to its small size and start growing our smaller ramification. So that's it for today. A short update. Nigel Saunders of KW Bonsai. We'll see you on the next video.